why very emotional, and I completely understand that. Okay, say Baha, I think it's a Thursday, mboa. Say can say
yeah, Baha Thursday, and you be doing come before the judgment.
Yeah, train verdict and I'm a verdict, but verdict na anya no kware. To say they all come ho asam no na embra no eye enipa na hyehyɛ. Nti when it's time to shoot the narrative, betimi a twist it. I'm gonna save it and suit your narrative. But one thing, and then me per se, yenya consolation. If you say, I'm glad Lumba died.
Tell us why.
First, pa no na me so I didn't Lumba wu, but I'm glad say Papa ne wu. Say beya, Mami Akosua Serwaa benya ne peace of mind. Lumba died so that the woman can actually see herself again as a woman. Because he was a constant reminder of the sacrifices and the pain I know I go through. No, it is a no. That's when you be my say you don't see the pain. Time no pain no will go. It's immediate. I sit here and I say I'm glad he died, and I'm glad he suffered before he died. Because no one can say why they also a bray or like 15 years. Say, why won't you suffer?
But must you say that?
I am saying
for
that
for the sufferation part.
No. He needed to go through that because you see, you can't cause people pain and expect to say what you say. We will be okay. You can't cause people pain and expect to say you'll be fine. Because from every indication, your system, your tradition, near the no, and boa warrior, Pima, and boa warrior in a sense to say, why a traditional marriage in a no? Because say Titino, and I yet no, Bema meboa, who ba, no akonebusia ho, akoye investigation, I shall say yare, or and I a dawanyama pia wo ansa, said your body city, now wa ba ka say, oh, me who flower be of fear, and I'm pesa me day, me pluggy. The fact is say or shame ba nyina wo wi ase nyina no ba wo hima wo do adno no e kire say waka wona akoma mu say obey dedicated to you. That's what it means. It's whether traditionally, whether legally, or be a warrior, no woman, born of a woman, has the right to obeka so ba be kotare ho. Or be a justify court to justify say traditionally or warrior in the 90 like or warrior in 2010. Bayenhwe Ben ya worry Madam Akosua Serwaa. You worry 1991. It's 19 years after the marriage. Now cry better home. Why are we not talking about that? Why are we not talking about say you so wrong to say or be a worry? No, but why are we not talking about that? But rather no, I say Endra Dazi TV I think guy na well channel na Diana no oko interview lawyer Kusino.
Okay.
He says something say everybody is looking at the half of their glass.
Yes.
What I say?
Yes.
But a formula in Swani France Ushieguma, a Shiegua na aba half no. Nobody is looking at that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so profound. Say, boy, need to be nyasa say we are looking at and so half na bedroom no. Na down no san bedroom half of this way. What are we talking about it? Why are we not talking about that? Because if we baby, ne bedroom baby. 19 years of sacrifice. Utien kofo semwa. Oni da di Lumba nyana na eye nkrata. Na so se Lumba adwum boniti ne nkrata no sa anyeye. Anyeye mo betena Ghana. Obetena Ghana sister ni nya ne de. No de be ware o. Ko no Nyankopɔ pɛ se o kire ne se. Wonye ni papa. Eti ese oba ne boa no humiliate no. Also oba ne boa na humiliate no. How can you so be aware o? What kind of wasem? There's no single and you my year bar a bar woman. Akosua Serwaa first. There's no new. It is hard na wo ye ni nyase na wo pra no wo dem. No shada be bonum wo abonte for us to see say you are a good husband. You deserve to die. E wo na Lumba wu no. E wo so wu na Akosua Serwaa enya liberation because maame no sister who was suffer. When you said now no ya 3 days ago. Me call me uncle ho. Say Lumba kwa osabe di me cousin. Echi I know person me cousin the crowd woman.
102.9.
What you say, that was his lifestyle. That was the person that he was. By a shielding. All because say Akosua Serwaa who say he was her investment. It won't be cancer and say investment. That was her greatest mistake. That was some many greatest mistake. And oba me catch say a tradition any adie no a failure ko bema ko chiti said your boss oh bema die and what's what no oba ba ko bema die sa no yakopo bo obema so won chiti e he fa ne ba say Adam chiti ye onyakopo bo ba ni bema. So what are you talking about?
I know the man Becca said how I pen the Ohundra.
Hello tia sa no onyakopo bo no.
That's what they would say though.
Sa no onyakopo bo no. Ano nyakopo ma Adam die no yi ne mfe empario ana ode ye de ode bo Eve eti be ma bia be ware oba bibi free wo ho asa no ware oba no eti oba de say who holding in high esteem. The fact that we are not talking about the 19 years obi betare ho no, that is where the challenge is. That is where the challenge is. Ame pa me ne Madam Akosua Serwaa akame hohoro mensa every bia who dia Odo Broni. If you say no, the happiness and they say all cause another woman pain. That's what she thrives on. It's a me mama no. Can you remember? What you say me mofra dear of a friend say age. On person mo ba.
Take a decision.
Take a decision to come. But me remember, in fact, a Japadian do be mama me ba no man no fa no. But they made the brain you coming for the crown contest. One fa
really?
Yes, and I wouldn't. You know why? Because bear man and they say oh no. No. That's the plain simple words. Any day. No, me say what you say? Even 2019 and we worry. Odo Broni no allegedly no. What grantee interview no? And the dossier. What said the year back up?
He said it.
What kind said the year back up? It is a when you shameless. I can man what denounce you wa bontia so much. Akawu you know be ba pray home. And for be and pray home. To me dear Madam Akosua Serwaa, Lumba had to die. But Akosua Serwaa to walk free. Lumba had to suffer. But Akosua Serwaa had to go to say a kuno allegedly. See me and he deserved everything that was done to him that day. I will ye.
No, I'm not
considerate. Lumba has never been considerate of the feelings of Emma. He has never been considerate of Emma. Sesame Kasache Okwen, on the Sati to go and Kofuasum say, na warrior no court no, nay fake. Say one more, Bema Okopo Ba. Occupy vagina area.
Men are capable.
Bema occupy vagina as young as 16, 17 area.
The answers all kind of
Rebecca be we are say. No, by Jimmy for no so be found so no. Now so what JD. Or banner with Jimmy, what do you know from no? Now so what JD. And I wouldn't a woman, now wouldn't a woman, and I wouldn't me say, put himself verdict in the buy, you know. Verdict in the buy, you know, him and go for a frame. They don't know we said the advocacy people were actually listening.
Yeah, very well. And majority of the people wanted the other side.
Exactly.
Or they wanted a different.
Exactly.
I mean, like decision, I don't know why.
Me say.
It's a few people.
Because no, yeah.
And majority of the people were all waiting to hear that Akosua Serwaa the wishes is granted. Glorified as the wife.
All the people that are supporting a friend is Akosua Serwaa, Odo Broni.
Even Omukra undercover because they are ashamed of what they are supporting. Any moral ground, any moral basis.
They didn't see better. Those people supporting Odo Broni, in their homes, they never saw better. What I say? It does so my mamenum, Edin Krofo Kunumachi. And I say, what I say, almost sistanum. So they didn't see anything growing up. And what they know is that you can be a side piece and be comfortable with it. But Oba, so your bar. No, your ban on where fair or bar what why can't you also have your own man? It's a moment in the chin in Narano. What yes, and then I saw some young girls on the TV station jubilating. Omaniaje. Sir Akosua Serwaa is being humiliated. Beba mo so, beba mo maso. Ama ye mo ya.
Ubenya betu de nyeduabo.
Beba mo so.
Da weni mo twa.
What you say? And there are certain people that are same way by ya. I'm cool with them. I'm beginning to question, say whether or not I should ever associate be cool with them. Because me no, my foundation in na a Bible-based principle. Na me de tena we ase. It will be a based in Ibeno. You can never be my friend. And I was questioning somebody that said, I don't a side chick, because the way that the person spoke, no, I thought that the person was a level-headed person. What you say? Who say? But if the other person is not seeing better. If you want ni papa, funny mammy, it won't. Papa biya day.
Oh, say and the sad part of it, you're normalizing Myanmar can nanke ye chiwade. Ne ye musuo. You know, but I'm not surprised that people die too young.
Of course.
What a shock. Young girl, 23 years, 31, 27,
Because of Sanya.
Unfortunately, when they die, they don't come back to tell. If you are a photo,
what's your say?
And I'm sure it is because on social media, from the courts and our grounds, and I hear people saying that, hey, this time, of
course, it's the Bible can. Bible can say, "Nipe do anobejo."
Yeah.
People are heartless. Just a to the bad dia obe feel it, but a to be an ordinary dia. One day, any idea obe feel it. So him, me, I want Madam Akosua Serwaa to take consolation from the fact, say, the man died so that she can live a peaceful life. Because what to mean build you be. What you say?
Yeah.
Na so anani bibi. The family ni betray Akosua Serwaa. The family members ni including mama no ne sister no a friend say Enesina, including her Akosua Brempoma, because revelations be a buyer no. What you say? Almost so normalize it say, oh, side chick is you better me the nakasa.
And of course, what do you say? Whoever that is supporting the other side, have something to gain.
Yeah.
But the rightful woman, no, so supporting her, rightfully now, so she decides to give you something or not.
Yeah.
But here the lady knows that no.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you more lobby.
Yep.
Now, Amana Sabe, you're waiting us. Yep. A percentage.
Yes.
One more bed. So I'm not surprised.
Thankfully, Omomudi Odo Broni China so ye jeja womo. Because of Suba Bonnie, Asha was sem. Almost said, Omo vagina, comma mema. Almost so, yeah, Omunino and Guasia Tarataro, Mojina, Jari Womo. How would they know better? How would they know better? They wouldn't. What I say, and me, one of the things growing up say, me making me who say, Obi Wokunu. Why say me who say, or the same me no matter baby, I met Drew on any bit because it downplays the principle of Mimi uphold. It downplays it. It is a wound what Bakono di was so crowd no. What did I say? Later you got to know. And what you got to know, no, what did you do with it? It's Ohima Lumba had to die for Akosua Serwaa to be liberated. Lumba had to die. Say be Akosua Serwaa and who pain. I went who for almost 30-something years of in a life. No, I want her to take consolation because when baby Andra, Aisha Modi. Is it Aisha Modi, right?
Yeah, Aisha Modi. She loves the boy.
Yes. She says something for the first time.
I realized people commented and said, no, for the first time, yes. She love is making a lot of positive.
Because what she said, they say who couldn't break the sanctity, right? Yeah. Sanctity of your marriage.
Yeah.
Constantly. What you say, no, the baba, at the point, you will say, your baby are on ye.
What brand?
Onye.
Even though you don't bother much about what
because said you sit here say
it will not be worth
it. Concentrate on your kids. And I feel say Aisha couldn't have put everything that you said.
Sister. Must we say a man or mobile trainer or munti a janumuja ye? Now your mommy had to suffer alone.
I'm telling you, single parents
and all that.
Yes.
na your papa no mo chele at the time. Obefa ma 1 2 3 ni bia be woni ade. Na say later about bedru say the title kekeo, this one that we are talking, it not be anything, it be just the title as a woman who has stood over the years as a wife, gone through all the challenges our rear your film. Obi awari bia related to what we are discussing. I just obi awari
any baby mamas, no.
Of course, they don't have that.
They don't exactly.
They don't.
Because they are okay.
So arguments, no. It is because they have not experienced it. They have not. If they have, they would understand Akosua Serwaa. They would and they will not just make unnecessary condemnation of calling her irresponsible. Are you serious? Like seriously, we are a joke. I'm telling you, we are not serious.
Odo Broni, Odo Broni, you will never have it. And now every crowd Japan but I pray and I say ube wari obema foforo. No so di na adwena day. E beat you. Aje niam ni nyina free wonsem. You will never be happy. Causing that woman that pain. You will never be happy because not trani kuno ho. And now ba ho. Whether traditionally or legally. Say a friend say ohima say o worry illegally. CSC 2004 no worry. Meboa.
Yeah.
Ewo embremu. Ewo Germany. That's 21 years and asani e kanwa. You see a worry Odo Broni time bay. 2010. Allegedly. It's it worry even what now worry nyina ba ya nsa na wo de neighbor. There's no justification for that. It's every single pain that you are causing a year Akosua Serwaa no. Odo Broni, you will face it 10 million times. And the sad no but that won't pass. Abonsa no ka say ade amede ye mami because with him she was just looking on go ya catch us or call beba.
Exactly my point. Oh, because him no what him say akwa ba ade foforo obekwa ba now so abrase 2018 no o decide this will be jai be man and go nya obi eso ni musa mame jiwa japade half ne ko kasa abrei ko Odo Broni be eno na yam from so a Akosua Serwaa ya eye me yama
no wonim se ye ka kire ne se sa na aware tie
eye me yama mama no pa
oba uka so obeja o uja yakọ he na se one Charles
obrego ya o
obeba o Charles de obeba sa the sen ko
obeba no asan be bonyo foforo asan
asama what you say full na wo de
me la Charles
friend say eye Charles Kojofosu otina hoyi wo hye mani mienu a from omo wake to omo ntade shim. It tells you say he was a terrible human being.
Why?
Now Lumba din awaji ne ho kire ne yire
what you say we na yire no mo ne yire no a
what you say
e na de ya force ya ka ho
na wo hye Odo Broni na wo hye mame Akosua Serwaa omo depict obi a
Lumba yire no sa wo ho just in case you whom shepe
but who despite yire
but maybe
who despite yire who could join yire okay mame Brown the level of the musicians who could join yire who man Mary that amachi the day yire
yeah
who amachi the day is one manner me salute no amachi the day no matter what ne yire oba Mary man Mary sa na kwadwantwi so oba meboa rockling
yeah
won fani ndi agro so mu wo side pieces bi mpokora no a they will let you know say where there then na abre shame on that Lumba and I'm glad he's dead.
Well, according to Mann, on reaction towards verdict anano efiada modi aba besesa na amam okroma sese obi amfa ne ho nyim se kawa no fa so he papa bia na aja manu aba